Good afternoon and good evening. Welcome to another edition of According to Ingrid, and today we're going to bring you into a new light of prophecy. We're going to welcome Carlos Perez, who is the founder and editor of the Mayan calendar news, and he's going to give us some fantastic information about the 2012 prophecies, the myths, the truths, and the comparison to the biblical prophecies. Let us welcome Carlos Perez. Welcome, Carlos.
Thank you so much, Ingrid. It's a pleasure to be here.
Tell us a little bit about what you do for the Mayan calendar news.
I started the Mayan calendar news about 8 years ago. Originally, it was a personal message that I was sending to friends and family about earth changes that were going on and also events that were taking place throughout the world. And it was a personal message that I would be sending out with news clips and articles. And I decided to formalize it. That's when I came up with the name, the Mayan Calendar News, and I started a Yahoo group. And I began sending out the messages to as many people as I possibly could contact and reach. So it's quite an audience that I have right now with the
I could imagine, especially with the last few years, there's been such hype surrounding the 2012 prophecies. And with all of the different disasters that are going on and the earth changes, the tsunamis, the floods, the earthquakes, the fires, and just so much rain. Can you give us just a little glimpse before we really get into the show about what this means? I mean, give us some of the other prophecies that are to come before 2012 and let us know the exact time that people keep saying that it's 12. It's on the 12th month, the 12th hour. Maybe you could explain that a little bit.
Okay. It gets into Mayan and actually Central Mexican. The tribes of Central Mexico were the ones who developed the calendar system. And it's not one calendar. There are at least 20 different calendars that were used by the Maya, the Aztec, the Toltecs, and the other major tribes of Central Mexico. And really what it is a form of astrophysics. The Maya, what they were is they were master cosmologists. They looked up into the sky and they built these wonderful temples. But the purpose of the temples, besides rituals and ceremonies, which was actually to observe the sky, to observe the night sky, because in Mayan cosmology, the Maya believed that everything and everyone is interconnected, that we're all connected with the universe. And so whatever happens out in the macrocosm of the universe also happens or has an impact on us as individuals here in the microcosm on planet Earth. So with this belief in mind, they began to study the cosmos. They began to look at the night sky and the constellations. And over hundreds of years, maybe even thousands of years, they developed a system of calendars where they were able to determine what kind of energy levels were taking place on Earth, what was the source of those energy levels, and what kind of impact that would have on human beings as a society, what it would have on nature, would it have positive effects or negative effects?
Tell me this. Now, 2012 is when the prophecy is supposed to take place that the Mayans have put in the calendars. Give me just a few of those prophecies for our audience.
We're already starting to see some of those projections. I call them projections.
All right, the projections.
Some of those projections have already started to take place, such as the violent earthquakes that we're seeing. Now, it's very interesting that, these kind of violent earthquakes would happen maybe once every 100 or once every 200 years. Now we're seeing them with greater frequency. And this fits in with the scenario as projected by the Maya 2,000 years ago. So we expect to see a continuation of violent earthquakes, tsunamis, earth changes, dramatic earth changes in the weather. The weather, climate changes. These are all projected to take place as projected by the Maya 2,000 years ago.
Now, what is the actual prophecy for 2012? What will happen on that particular day?
Well, on 2012 is the end date December 21st of 2012 is the end date of what is known as the long count calendar. Now, the long count calendar encompasses a period of 5,136 years. It's an age. It's a cosmic age. Now, what is going to take place that we know of for certain is that on that particular date, when the sun is 1 degree above the horizon on the winter solstice, December 21st, 2012, the Earth, the sun, and the center of the Milky Way will be in direct, perfect alignment.
And that means?
Well, what this means is, first of all, this is an event that happens only once every close to 26,000 years. This is an alignment that only occurs once every, like I said, approximately 26,000 years. Now, the Maya believed that because of this alignment, that there would be a tremendous surge of energy, and that this energy was going to have a dramatic impact on the earth and on society.
Is it a good thing that's going to happen? Will some people feel this surge? Will it affect them, and will it be fatal?
There's two different ways of looking at it. There are two different
hypothetically.
Hypothetically.
Okay.
There are two different ways of looking at it. There are those who predict cataclysmic change going on the earth. Major, major earthquakes, major, major tsunamis, perhaps even a pole shift. There's a speculation that there might be a major pole shift.
And pole shift is what now?
A pole shift of the North Pole and the South Pole, that the Earth just
turn around
topsy-turvy. This is what is speculated, projected. There's the other school of thought that says, well, this surge of energy is going to result in a new wave of consciousness among people, that people are going to become more spiritual, that there's going to be brotherly love and harmony among the races of the earth.
Well, that would be wonderful.
That would be wonderful.
That would be
yeah.
welcome. Well, welcome.
Yes,
we all need unity. We all
yes.
need peace. We all need better understanding.
Absolutely. Now, the one thing I can tell you for sure, this has been scientifically proven. Number one is the alignment of the Earth, the Sun, and the cosmic center of the Milky Way. Number two, we know for sure that, see, our galaxy, our solar system, our sun and our planets that surround the solar system have been traveling through the Milky Way galaxy as a body of planets. Now, what we've been doing, it takes roughly about 26,000 years for our solar system to make this journey through our section of the Milky Way. All right? Now, what we've been doing, what all this planetary system has been doing, has been generating a lot of energy. We've been leaving a trail of energy through our portion of the solar system.
Is that why we're having all of these different unusual occurrences with our weather and earth changes?
Absolutely, because what's happening is now that we're approaching the star system orbit. As we're approaching the starting point, we're also approaching all that energy that our solar system has been generating for the last 26,000 years.
Now, what will happen in space? Will something occur there as well? I mean, you're talking about Earth changes now, but what about space, the solar system?
Well, you know, things have already been occurring within the various galaxies. We see supernovas, stars collapsing.
Meteorites.
Well, you know, yeah. And so these kind of things are going on continuously, but more importantly is the energy that is being generated by these cosmic events.
Is that why that the men are not going to the moon anymore? I mean, it's after this particular, I believe, the journey to the moon, it's going to stop for a while? Or?
Well, they have, you know, like the shuttle, the last shuttle launch was not too long ago. I believe, yes, I believe that has a lot to do with it, because also what's happening is that we're seeing the Maya projected for around this time period as we approach 2012, this year and coming into the 2012 year, a lot of activity in sunspot activity from the sun. And it is really, really dangerous to be out in the cosmos while the sun is throwing out all this real powerful energy with sunspot activity, solar flare activity.
Now, you have books here that best explain some of the information that you're giving our audiences. Can you explain the Book of the Destiny 2012 and I believe we spoke earlier about the Mexican mystique, the coming sixth world of consciousness, and that you mentioned that this was one of the very first books that really caught your eye.
Yes, Mexico Mystique was released in the mid-1970s, which is when I discovered this book, and it was written by Frank Waters. Frank Waters, the late Frank Waters, was a Native American archaeologist, and he studied all of the North American cosmological traditions. He not only studied the Lakota Sioux, for instance, and the Hopi, which are the oldest North American tribe, the Hopi Indians, but he also studied the Aztec and the Maya, and even the South American traditions. Frank Waters was the first person to write on the 2012 prophecy and its implications for the future. Now, this was back, like I said, back around 1975, the mid-1970s. And of course, Frank Waters took the position that what was going to occur in 2012, at the end of the long count calendar, was a new wave of human consciousness, that it would be a new era of enlightenment.
Oh, I see. We're going to take a break for a minute or so, and we'll be right back with the 2012 prophecies in the Mayan calendar.